Do you guys, would you rather have another song where I play guitar, or do you want to have one where we all stand up and sing a little bit together?
No,
Guitar.
guitar.
Okay. I got it. I know what you mean. Okay, so I think I'm going to give you one of my personal favorites. And this is adapted from another folktale. I know you could find this folktale in the library, but I don't want to give away what it is. Because some of you have heard this story before, and I think it might be more of a surprise if I don't tell you. So, if you can guess it, just don't tell anybody else for now. You'll know by the end for sure. My closet's bare, nothing to wear. I do own clothes to spare, but I don't like what's there. My closet's bare, nothing to wear. I do own clothes to spare, but I don't like what's there. So sang the king, standing in front of a closet bursting with royal robes of every color. Two scoundrels came walking one day. They heard the king's cry and they shouted hooray. Dishonest and clever, they thought of a plan to make a great fool of the king of the land. So these two scoundrels, thieves, they decided to go back up to the castle gate and brush themselves off and make themselves look real nice. And they knocked on the door and they said, "Your closet's bare, nothing to wear. Let's see what we can do to make new clothes for you. Oh, never fear, tailors are here. We'll make you something grand to rule this mighty land." So the two scoundrels pretended to be tailors wearing wonderful outfits. And those tailors, they went right up and they asked for work from the king. And the king said, "You're hired on the spot. I need a new suit for parades and whatnot." Those tailors said, "We'll need some things to make a garment befitting the king." So the tailors, they got looms and needles and thread, and they set up shop in one of the rooms of the castle. And all day long, they sang, and this is what they sang as they worked. They said, "Oh, thread to weave, oh, seams to sew, to make rough clothes so fair, they are beyond compare. Oh, thread to weave, oh, seams to sew, to make rough clothes so fair, they are beyond compare." The servants, they all heard this song. The tailors were singing it all the day long. The servants, they crept in and spied those tailors at work, but they were mystified. They turned to each other and they said, can you see the thread that they weave?" "Not really, me either, we have to believe. If this is the finest in royal finery, it must be too royal for our eyes to see." Well, advisors and courtiers came creeping in turn. Not fabric nor thread could the courtiers discern. The royal advisors were quick to concur. Those who could not see weren't as royal as they were. How gorgeous, how sumptuous, how really fine. Had I a king's ransom, those clothes would be mine. If some cannot see them, we have to surmise. Those garments are likely too fine for their eyes. The townspeople heard that the king's new attire was so flabbergasting that it did require eyes that were royal, its colors to see. They argued and wondered how royal they might be. Well, in no more than a day, tailors said they were completely done, and so they brought the king in. And they sang, "What clothes to wear, beyond compare, in all due modesty, the king's sure to agree. What clothes to wear, beyond compare, in all due modesty, the king's sure to agree." So, they all gathered together, and the king marched right into the room. His servants, his courtiers, all stood by the loom. His tailors were beaming, all seemed to agree that these clothes were the best, though their arms were empty. The king dressed in private, as decorum compels. The tailors accompanied to dress him themselves. The king took off everything save for one pair of his favorite polka dot pink underwear. our good king, our dear king, in these clothes you shine. The stitches are tiny, the cut is divine. How handsome, how regal, and his majesty said I look so majestic, I hardly recognize you. While the trumpets resounded, processional sounded.
Excuse the interruption. At this time, please switch in about 1 minute to your other activity tonight. In about 1 minute, go ahead and switch to your second activity. Thank you.
It was time for the king to be paraded around it. And back at the castle, the tailors they sneered and rode out of town. Yes, they quite disappeared. Well, the crowds were assembled. The king wore his crown and strutted right down the main street of the town. He held his head high on this grand promenade. When the townspeople saw, they thought their king looked odd, parading there without a care in polka-dotted underwear. And from the back of the crowd, one child said, "The king is bare, the king is bare. There's nothing there but underwear. The king is bare, the king is bare. There's nothing there but underwear." Well, the king, he continued to perambulate, so scantily clad for the head of a state. But other people started singing it too. They said, "The king is bare, the king is bare. There's nothing there but underwear. The king is bare, the king is bare. There's nothing there but underwear." Where? Over there. The king stopped. He did not dare to take another step. He stared. He stood right there in just one pair of polka-dotted underwear. And the whole crowd sang, "The king is bare, the king is bare. There's nothing there but underwear. The king is bare, the king is bare. There's nothing there but underwear. Now some people say that the clothes make the man. They would if they could, but I don't think they can. If your king's a fool, then I hope you will dare to call truth as you see it, whatever he wears. Call out the